Hey guys, it's Chris from Highline Guitars, and you're watching another episode of From the Luthier's Workbench. In this episode, I'm going to tease you with a project that I'm currently working on, one which is going to be featured in an upcoming video. The project that I'm going to be working on is a test, a finish test. You see, I've always wanted to test out some of the water-based clear coat finishes that I have been using over the years. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this teaser is because I had hoped to have the test completed so that you could be watching that video instead. However, whenever you're doing, these sort of test videos where you're trying out and testing new products, you always run into issues that are unexpected and that can lead to delays. So I've had to delay this a little bit out, and that was going to leave me with no video for this weekend. And I also thought it would be a good idea to kind of give you an idea of what I'm working on, and that way if you've got some thoughts or ideas about what I'm about to do in this test, you could post them down below because, when I'm working on this stuff, I'm working on it in my box. And to think outside the box, sometimes I need input from other people. So if you have any thoughts, post them in the comments below and I'll check them out. And I can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to include it in, but it might stop me and make me think about what I'm doing in this test and possibly affect how I judge and evaluate these products. Going back, way back into the past, I have used just about every clear coating product on the market. I've tried them, and some of them I found were, pretty decent. Others were absolutely, totally useless. But what I've come to the conclusion is, after years of trying these different products, I settled on Crystalax Bright Tone Instrument Finish. It is, in my opinion, what should be considered the industry standard for a water-based clear coat finish. It's easy to apply, easy to level sand, buffs out to an incredibly gorgeous high gloss shine, and it has pretty decent scratch resistance. So for that reason, I've stuck with that product. But in the back of my mind, I've always wondered, how does it really stack up in terms of performance? If I were to do a test, so to speak, to see how it works. Well, at about the same time that I started thinking about doing this, I became aware of another new product, which is not out on the market yet, but it's coming. And I wanted to try this product to see how it performs and if it might have possibilities for those of us who like to build guitars. So I reached out to the company and got a sample of it, and I'm currently in the process of preparing to test that product against Crystalax Bright Tone Instrument Finish. I want to see if it's better, if it's about the same, worse, that sort of thing. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be testing the products, both of them, for their clarity, their ability to be buffed out to a high gloss shine, a shine which can be retained over a long period of time. And then, of course, I want to make sure that the products have an adequate level of scuff and scratch resistance. So I've kind of worked up this test in my mind, and I'll be explaining more about that in an upcoming episode when I actually show you the results of this test. But I've also prepared a sample to test which uses Solarez UV cured polyester gloss resin. And the reason why I'm including that in my test of the water-based products is because, in my opinion, the polyester resins represent the highest level of clear coat performance. And they are the clearest, they have the ability to have the highest, glossiest shine, and they are without a doubt the most scratch and scuff resistance of any clear coating product that's in existence on the market. So you're probably wondering, why would I even bother with the water-based products if the polyesters are so great? Well, If you've ever used a polyester resin or a UV curable polyester resin, you know how challenging and difficult it can be to work with. The results are certainly worth it, but it can be a real bear to work with. And for that reason, I've sort of stayed away from the polyesters and have preferred to work with the water-based polyurethane clear coat products. Now, just to give you an idea of how I'm planning to conduct this test, what I've done is I've prepared 3 samples. One is prepared with the Crystalac Bright Tone, the other with the new product that I'm preparing to test, and then one with the Solarez UV Cure polyester gloss resin. And the way I prepared these was a couple of weeks ago, I replaced a ceiling fan in my living room. And as I was throwing out the old worn out ceiling fan, I thought, you know, I should keep the blades from that ceiling fan. I'm not sure what I'd use them for, but they're a decent 1/4 inch thick plywood. So I salvaged the blades and tossed them in the wood pile. And when I came up with the idea to do this test, I thought, hey, I'll just use those fan blades to do the samples on. So that's just a good example of how you can salvage items from around the house that are otherwise slated to end up in the trash bin. So that's what I want to do, is I want to test these 2 products and see how they stack up against the ultimate polyester resins. So we'll see how that goes. And until the next episode, which is when I hope to be revealing the results of this test, I hope you have a great weekend, a great week ahead, and we'll see you soon.